Welcome to another show. I know it's been a long time. This is Mzansi Politics, and I understand that I've been taking that of time before. I actually did something for you guys, and you must be worried what's happening to the channel, but we are still here. So today I want us to talk about Kolani Ndlovu's funeral in Eastern Cape, whereby the logistics of the chief LT John Kolani Ndlovu, that the funeral estimated cost was 5 million rand. So I want us to actually discuss this matter so that we can break it down for everybody that's home, wherever that you are. I want us to make sense out of what's currently happening in the nation, because what we're seeing now is a corruption on steroids. So I'm going to play you a small voice note from Defence Minister Thandi Modise on these allegations. She's explaining what's happening and how come that the amount actually reached 5 million for a funeral. That doesn't make sense. And when you look at the country now, it's still at recession. We're still having high tax. We're paying a lot of expensive stuffs like your gasoline, your electricity, your food supply, or even your medical bills. Everything actually went high. So now I want us to actually talk about this matter. And don't forget that you guys please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I've been going through the numbers and I see that we actually reaching the numbers. We have quite a number of listeners, but it's so sad that the number of listeners that we actually get are not the ones that subscribe. So 99% of you guys are just listening but not subscribing to the channel. So can you please revisit the channel, and please do, at least do it for me, do it for the channel, do it for the growth, do it for the people, so that we can keep producing this quality content for everyone that needs to understand what's happening within the government of South Africa. So please take the moment now. Just it will just take a 5 second. Just pause the video and click on subscribe to stay up to date with the information. Don't forget to hit that like button, and make sure that you leave your comment, leave your own opinion. This is a free platform whereby your voice should be heard. Everybody's voice is very necessary and it's very important. So whatever that you're thinking, whatever idea that you must have in your idea, please make sure that you leave it underneath the comment. So without any waste of time, I want us to listen to the voice note so that we can break it down together after that. This is your Defense Minister, Thandi Modise.
You will remember that recently we had a funeral for our late chief of logistics. And there was a story abounding, and I was out of the country at that time, representing this country at both Egypt and Ghana, when the stories of the cost of that funeral broke the news. I want to reassure not only government but the people of South Africa that we are investigating. I have instructed the Secretary for Defence as the accounting officer that there shall be consequences. I am aware that the Secretary for Defence acting has actually written and instructed the Chief of the South African National Defence Force that I do want to see those responsible facing what must come to them. In these hard times, when our budget continues to shrink as a department, we cannot afford any misuse, any mismanagement of the little funds that we have. And therefore, we can assure this country that we will follow up people who have misused, even misrepresented the facts, the figures, will face the music within the National Defence Force. So we will not leave that undone. If people must face discipline, they will. If they have to be expelled, they will. If we have to render them to the South African military police or the SAPS, because it is a crime to embezzle any funds of the state, we shall do so. We will not leave any stone unturned.
That was the Minister of Defense Minister of Defense. That was Thandi Modise, On the funeral cost that are estimated of 5 million, you see the corruption even went to the defense force. When you look at the Limpopo River by Limpopo, the border gate between that river between Zimbabwe and South Africa is still left and militarized or even without borders. So now they're spending the military funds on matters like funerals. Funerals can be arranged with the less than 50,000 rand, and it can be a class one that everyone needs. But when it comes to the funding that belongs to the people, belongs to the nations, that's supposed to defend the people and deploy more military to ensure the security of the nation, it's uh, top. Now the money is being spent with such negligence. So the minister is guaranteeing and is making a promise towards the people of South Africa and say that the funding and all the necessary measures will be undergone and make sure that each and every person that has been using the funds will have to attend a hearing or even explain what he or she did with that certain amount. Let me continue and playing the other one by the minister.
We've also had to deal with what we saw on social media. You see, there is a party that is running around today, the borders, especially around the rivers of this country, saying it is apprehending people, especially from Zimbabwe, who are jumping here. The responsibility for border management, the responsibility to ensure that South Africa's lives, integrity, life and limb is intact, rests with the National Defence Force and lately with the Border Management Agency. And another aspect of it with the South African Police Services. No citizen of this country, we don't care what party they belong to, is allowed to run around with what looks like a machine gun. So again, as we did with the AfriForum when they said they would patrol these borders on our behalf, we ask people to allow those responsible for those duties to do their work. Also,
Right now is the matter of the border patrol. The minister now, she's saying that the responsibilities and all the matters regarding, oh god, something it's wrong, let me quickly fix it. So guys, just give me a few minutes. So yes, she's saying that all the responsibility facing the border security and all matters of the national security is should be the matters of, and it should be only handled by the professional, which she means it must be handled by the South African border management or even the military group itself. So I want us to actually talk about that, because once those people decided to start patrolling the borders and start taking the responsibility on their hands, is because that the South African Defence Force actually failed to manage the border responsibility, and they failed to undergo all the aspects that the nation needed from them. So now, if she feels threatened or she feels like her duties are being taken from her, I think it's very necessary for her to actually do what's needed for her to do, or she has actually responsibility to undergo as a Minister of Defense to make sure that nobody enters without proper channels. So you can't blame that political party, but you can blame them. But since all the responsibility lies with the Defence Force, so now the minister was covering two important facts. The first one was regarding the budget, and the second one was regarding the political party that is actually patrolling the borders. So Now, since we broke it down and that was my analysis, so don't forget to comment, leave your thoughts there. Whatever that you think, don't hesitate to leave it underneath. You are free to say whatever that it comes to your mind. This is a free platform, it's where you can even voice yourself. And don't forget to subscribe and make sure that you also follow the channel on each and every podcasting each and every podcasting platform. So without further ado, this is Mzansi Politics, and I thank you.